Good evening, crewmates. Captain Andy here. Hope everyone's had a great weekend so far. If not, I hope the last couple hours of this weekend work well in your favor. We're gonna continue on Final Fantasy XIV tonight. I know, shocker. To help Claylan get through Final Fantasy XIV story, Claylan is my legacy character who has not gone through the story, and we are close, inching closer to finishing at least A Realm Reborn. I'd like to at least get A Realm Reborn done before Dawn Trail shows up, because I don't think I'll be able to get the story done at this point. I don't have the time to get that done. Not with what I want to do, because I want to experience as much story as I can in a sequential order as possible, which includes getting as many quests done as I think I can get done within each respective expansion and patch. As for last time, we started off with the patch 2.4 Dreams of Ice, where we learned the existence of one named Shiva, as per the history of Ishgard. And yeah, Saint Shiva. But right now, we're just going to take I want to finish it. I am going to finish that tonight. We're just going to take a slight pause and get that done, where I mentioned previously I was working on my relic for her before I started the streaming. And I got stopped by the time I got the Snow Cloak, because, well, I didn't have Snow Cloak unlocked that to actually do the story, and I wanted to, at the same time, go on this journey with Claylan to share that with you. And here we are now. I spent some time doing the stage 6, stage 7 of the relic quest, where eventually the weapons get turned into Zodiac Braves. And what I did when I first started this, again, because I did this as Andy earlier, doing it again as Claylan. I must be a masochist of some sort, probably. Nonetheless, I got all the relics for all the respective jobs done up to this point. And between yesterday and today, I got the last 10 pieces of that Snow Cloak, and did that entire quest 9 more times to get every item I needed for that, which actually helped with my inventory space. In any case, we are going to hand in each and every single one of these items. I don't know, it's kind of cool to see all the relics appear at once. And then I'll have one more step to do, which I'm not going to do tonight. I'm probably going to do that within the next couple days, as it requires light farming. And I have a system I want to do that with. It takes about half an hour to an hour per weapon. But I won't have enough poetics for all of them. I need at least 600 poetics per weapon. And I will only have enough for one, maybe 2 by the end of today. Considering when I had to get poetics, I'm stuck with this. Yeah, that's how I was getting that done, just to confirm it. So I can get 100 here. Yeah, I get whatever I get from the trials. I will be doing main scenario. Yay, just to get this. Alliance raid, as well as... I guess PvP doesn't offer that anymore. They used to. Wait, maybe it still does if I go here. Frontline. Oh, yeah, it gives you a little bit, like 50, 50, 50. You know what? 50 again. I'll do that outside stream just to get this done as quickly as possible. It might take me a couple days, but that's fine. So without further ado, let's get all these weapons in. Now, the hand in, you have to actually equip the respective items for that, so that's what I'll be doing right now. And what am I doing here? I won't be able to do it the other weapon unless I get rid of something here. What did I pick up? What did I pick up that's taking my inventory space? Where did I get this from? 47, 47. That would have been which dungeon? Which dungeon? Darkhold. Well, desensitized. Goodbye. I think even this one. This one had since 1.0. The 1.0, this was the second best shield in 1.0, or was it the best? I don't remember. I didn't have the Aegis, so I went with this, or the Holy Shield. This was the best money could buy back then, and you had to buy it. Or you could have crafted it too, I suppose, or got it. I'm not sure if you can craft these. I forget how you got it 1.0. I bought it. That's how I got mine. Alright. Where's my Holy Shield Nexus? Alright. Hello. Put this on. Alright, let's get this on the Paladin, because I started this off with the Paladin. Look at this shiny, shiny glow. It's going to look even shinier. I actually like the Excalibur. Sorry, let me take it back. I like this look here. It almost looks like it's see-through almost. But if you go up close, it's just a visual effect. It's still cool. But I like the design of Excalibur. I really do. So let's get them all. After this, we'll go on with the Dream Device. So, you found all 4 bits and pieces, eh? How do I know? It's written all over your smug face. Does the Geralt speak true, my friend? You've acquired all the items. Huzzah! Come, my friends, let us recreate an arm of yore. We ain't there just yet. Jalzan, I can forge a host with the raw materials what Claylan brought us as quick as you please. But you'll have then is a fancy weapon without the essence of a legendary arm. We still got to join it with special materia, but by my reckoning, it's the only way to infuse our new host with the power of souls. How do you propose we fashion this materia? Should Claylan gather 10 pieces of each form of Atma? No, we have 20, 50. Surely material composed of 50 pieces should be sufficient. What the hell's you on about, old man? The answer's right in front of your eyes. The bleeding relic itself. Aye, you ain't Claylan done a fine job of filling the thing up with soul energy as the ancients did. Just turn all that into materia, meld it with our new host, make the souls ascend into an arm of legend. Just an awful amount of energy to deal with, though. Your average old craftsman can make a right method of me. Find a smith and then disperse the souls to boot. What we need is a real master materia, if you catch me drift. Master Mutamix, but of course. Who else but he could create such potent materia? Come, Claylan. You must go to the bonfire and ask his aid at once. Surely he will not refuse the challenge. Okay, what I'm worried about here is, Andy and Claylan are on the same account, essentially. When I first started this quest, the relic, Geralt was starting to say as in he created another relic. When in fact, unfortunately, he never made one for Claylan at all. Previously. And they continued that on, but I'm hoping by this point they will actually do it proper. Alright, so we're supposed to go to Central Thanalan. Speak with Mr. Mutamix. I don't know how long this will take, folks. We shall see. I just want to get these relics done going. Then I'll be one step closer to getting them all done. Everybody didn't act and trade many tongue thoughts about sphere scrolls, but today Uplander seeks material knowledge of Mutamix. Uplander wants to make legendary fighting tool to materia? Interesting. Fighting tool of Ares self become amazing materia, even with the noise in Mutamix's brain case, it's possible. But Mutamix has shiver shakes. It is a very big chance game. Even with the noise that Mutamix cannot give word bonded success. Brain case is filled with doubtful buzzing muchly. May go very, very unrightly. If Mutamix is failing, legendary fighting tool will turn to bitty bits. Ares self go bye-bye too. But we'll give hand lending if Outlander is unweak or a bladder. Give Hell Call and Mutamix make trip to your stay place. Alright. Let's go back here. Get used to seeing Geralt when it comes to powerful weapons of yore. He can make them all. For a price. Yeah, I can get all these relics completed, and which hopefully should not take too long. Hopefully. And what did Mudevix have to say? Ha! I knew you couldn't say no to a challenge like this. And that means everything's set for the great show. I got me forge fired up. All that's left is to tell Jalzan you're ready and willing. Well, me venturing friend, what say we recreate us a legendary arm? Rise and shine. Okay, how can I get this then? Zodiac weapon recreation. You're ready to recreate a legendary arm from times of Eld. Let us make a soul of your current relic ascend to a new forged vessel. And so we make a Zodiac weapon. Yeah, Excalibur. Where's your relic? We cannot transform into material if it's not in your possession. Yeah. Alright, fine. Luckily, I won't be using this at all, this weapon, but I just love the design of it. Yeah, I got 10 of each of these. That's so total. Did all this groundwork beforehand. Yes. The Zodiac weapon we make with these will be finer than aught else in the land. If you're firm in your purpose, let us begin. Sweet. Enhance. Enhance. The culmination of our efforts is so close at hand. Come, let us call Master Mudevix, and then to work. So I'm to be first. Well, just see watch what I can do with this old hammer and anvil. I'll forge a host for the Zodiac weapon that's got no equal in all the Eorzea. Hoya! Well, it's done. Behold the weapon, precisely as it was in the day of yore. All that's left is to meld materia to it. Well, Master Mudevix, I believe this is your area of expertise. Will you transform Kalen's relic into materia? Bishka. This relic is a very mighty fighting tool, full of airy self. Mudevix has many shiver shakes. Cannot give word bond the secret joining skill of Mudevix will be success. If fail, fighting tool will turn to bitty bits. Please be warned, the chance of success for turning a relic nexus into materia is 1.4%. Your relic will be lost if the process fails. Yeah, sure. Please be warned, the chance of success for turning a relic weapon nexus into materia is 1.4%. Your relic will be lost if the process fails. Are you certain you wish to proceed? Yeah, sure. That's the spirit. Well, You heard the bull last, Mudamix. Make the relic into materia. Then let the chance game of many heart thumps begin. Giant eyes! That's Mudamix's true see. The red relic fighting tool of the Uplander is now materia. Mudamix a success muchly. Ha! I knew you had it in ye, Mudamix. Then all that remains for us is to join the relic made materia to Geralt's Zodiac weapon host. Now, I shall attempt to complete the arm with the Zodiac Scroll and flawless Alexandrite. Ages passed. A wise and just king reigned over all Isambard. A blade such as this graced his scabbard in times of peace and brought terror to his foes in times of strife. Come, take up your Excalibur, born of stars' radiance, forged through hero's might, and imbued with soul's blessing. I like that design. And the shield? A twin to the one you hold, unwavering, unyielding, unbreaking. Come, take up your Aegis shield, born of stars' radiance, forged through hero's might, and imbued with soul's blessing. Lethal weapon. Alright, that's Excalibur. Next, let's go on to, let's just go down the list. Warrior next. Gotta change the weapon here. Ragnarok. It's going to be the same dialogue for each, with the exception to a history of that weapon. So I'll read up that part, if it is different. Like how they trolled you with the 1.4% chance. An ancient hero seized a weapon like this from a void-sent lord. At the time it was taken, legends tell us it was a sword. Yet later, it transformed to match the bent of its wielder and became a mighty battle axe. Come, take up your Ragnarok. And he already said this stuff before. Take my portraits. Yeah, it's cute. Next is Monk, which will be this will help my inventory space quite a bit for Clayland now. Yeah, all 10 I'm getting done. When cataclysm loomed over the Near East, The hero Mirza arose to defend the people from fell fiends. Once he had torn the monsters apart, he raised a mighty empire and fashioned a pair of weapons such as these from his foes' claws. Kaiser Knuckles! Alright, next is Dragoon. Yeah, that's getting silly. I know. Recreation. And now for the Dragoon weapon. It was holy blood that gave divine might to the original polearm of Longinus. However, it was only once the hero set forth upon a great pilgrimage to atone for his part in the execution of a saint that the gods lent him their strength. Longinus. Longini? I don't know how to pronounce that. Longinus. Longinus, perhaps. I like this design. It spins too. Alright. Next, I believe would be Ninja. Alright. And now for the ninja's weapon. Sasuke, the hero who freed a people from a tyrant's reign, wielded blades like these. The ninja himself bore the blood of ancient heroes, and his own descendants bore the daggers for long generations after he passed away. Sasuke's blades. I guess I should fix up these portraits before I continue. Alright, I'll do that. Go to Dragoon. Done. Monk next. Portrait. After that, it'd be Bard. Yoichibo. Yeah. Unfortunately, again, the last stage for this, I can't really stockpile the items for it. It's a gotta go light farming for one specific weapon at a time. Get the weapon, move on. Next weapon, same thing, move on. It's a tedious process. Behold, the likeness of the longbow once drawn by Yoichi, the famed archer of the Far East. Ancient legend says that the hero could loosen a shaft so true as to pierce the eye of a sea serpent, even amidst a raging tempest. Yoichi's bow. Next would be Black Mage. Works better if I take out the weapon first. Not really. This is fine. And Black Mage's time. Tales of an Archmagus who struck down the void-sent Queen Lilith when she manifested in our realm. As his prize, he claimed her weapon, the incarnation of which you now grasps in your hand. Lilith Rod. And update the portrait of this as well. That looks better when it actually has it flashing. Which will happen soon. Just not yet. Next is Summoner. Insufficient armory? What? Let's wait for Scholar. Whoops, there we go, that's what I need to do. Summoner's time, and after this, 2 more. They've been working all day on relics. That's all they're doing. Who penned the original of this grimoire in times of eld is a mystery. Yet it is said that the predictions of world's end it holds are so dark as to destroy weak men's wills. Apocalypse. I think in Final Fantasy XI, Apocalypse was the Great Axe. It was either a Great Axe or with Great Sword. So Apocalypse took a slightly different turn in 14. It's now a book. Portrait. I'll have to fix that later. Fine. I see how it is. Next is White Mage. Fine, I can't apply glamour. Yada yada, I get it. Cedar Cook. Almost done. After long years spent spurning worldly desires, a near eastern higher grows to a higher state of being. And as he did, life itself quickened within its trusty staff, the very twin of which you now hold. Nirvana! Now I'm thinking of music. And yes, I can't update the portrait because I'm not near Aetheryte, of course. It is what it is. Alright, Scholar last. And much like the others, I gotta put on another book. The last relic weapon. This is my last resort. And my inventory space will greatly increase after this. Legend tells us of a grimoire such as this was passed down through the mages of Nim. Indeed, Golbas Rambas, the hero who saved his people from the floods of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, was known to rely upon it as his secret weapon. It was his last resort. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Alright, that's it for all the relic weapons. Let me just put on the recommended gear for this. Update the gear. Go here. Portrait, I can't fix, that's fine. Just go to town. Alright. As for the last part, I'll do that in probably start that tomorrow or later this evening. That's something I'm going to do off stream. As I'm going through a dungeon mind-numbingly for about half an hour per relic is, well, mind-numbing. Especially doing this a second time. But, maybe I'll do it the last one. We'll figure it out. Alright, so let me fix up my portraits here for all my jobs that need it fixed. Save. White Mage, Summoner, Bard, and looks like that's it. That's fine. Yeah, these are cute ones. I don't think I have a lot of frames. That's where they looked at. Maybe I'll update them later. And before I continue, back to Paladin and Just gonna repair my gear one last time. Good. All right, let's go. We gotta speak with Yu Hase and Korthus. Alright, let's go to Korthus. Alright. Now, as mentioned previously, with this last stream today, we're gonna go face off against the encounter. I'm assuming we're all assuming it's gonna be Shiva. Wow, it's dark here. Almost ominously quiet and dark. There's a little bit of dynamis almost from 11. Obviously, it's not. This is a little surreal. I'm just walking, I'm just enjoying the surrealness of this. It's not even midnight in the game. It's just foggy and dark and snow. The fact that there's no music too gives off more of an eerie vibe. That's why I'm not jumping on the chocobo right now. I'm just enjoying this the atmosphere this is presenting. And I'm trying to avoid any fates on the way. This is kind of cool though. Alright, so as I was saying earlier, we're coming close to that encounter we have to take part in. And what else is there? Screaming in the background. Yeah, and after that, do a little bit more. We have one more dungeon to look at as well. I wanted to look at to display. It'd be the Sunken Temple of Karn Hard, which was the third of the 3 dungeons that was released with Dreams of Ice. Realm Reborn 2.4. I will start 2.5 this Wednesday. However, I will not be able to get that done in 2 days' time. Unless my memory fails me, there is a lot of story between 2.5 and the ending of it. This is essentially the ending of A Realm Reborn, going into Heaven's Word. So that might take 2, possibly 3 days in total. My inventory space improved tremendously from this. Right, I can get rid of this thing now, this Zodiac glass. Can I avoid this fate? I don't want to have any music. No, I can't. Sorry, folks. Here. No, I can't. Stop. So much more inventory space. Whew. Or destroying people thing for people. I'm hoping he doesn't mind the help. Hey, buddy. What does Emmerich have to say? The network of tunnels throughout Snowcloak is extensive. A full survey will take time. There you are, Claylan. Commander Levaire instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the Third hail from Ul'dah, and a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand. Nearly a moment ago, I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danafin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. Right now I'm going to start using my this, because I'm not going to walk around for the next 2 hours. Because I want to finish Dreams of Ice today, not next week. Alright, sorry about that. Hey buddy, you okay? Stalls, balls, my ankle's on fire. Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead towards Danafin Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. Tracks? They left tracks? I don't think I see fog here too often. I mean, I'm just not here often enough to see the fog at nighttime. Alright, so we're gonna keep going up here. And now it's turned to snow, which means the darkness will no longer be amongst us. It's alright. Alright, now come back here. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? The tracks lead southeast. This way. A 3rd unit brave. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. There was a great scaled beast in Uyuhase? I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. Oh. embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretic's tracks I almost failed to notice that they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for its troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest. And lo and behold, before his friend found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late or be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Right. For the greater good. It's cold, it's cold, it's cold. Okay, we go here. Suspicious Corthan. Suspicious. Huzzah! Hi there. I'm through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those blue coats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Hi, guys. Well, stay with her then, if you think you'll fare any better. No, there's no need for that. There are places in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it has drunk deep. No, I have done no wrong. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will, we shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all. Fancy meeting you here, Claylan. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither? What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Ugidi and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphanode is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence to this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Domas from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is a most generous offer, Lady Ugidi, and one which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Claylan. Let us wait inside for Captain Ilbert to return and deliver his report. Captain Ilbert seemed confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time with, as it is. Tendrils of intrigue. Sounds like a case for Hildebrand. Oh, imagine if he was part of the main story then, not just relic weapons and stuff. That'd be, yeah, be something, that's for sure. Captain Ilbred, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man can tell us not that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Guardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. We recall the flame we first identified as being the Ivy's employ. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation has been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of this role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortin. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced them to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Rabon's innermost circle? Someone who has been with them since the Immortal Flames establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked, and thereby above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the 3 grand companies, Uldaz was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania have long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so for the Flames. Uldaz's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Rabon faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed. And given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now, aye. The immortal flames have been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but simply self-preservation. Had Neil Van Darnus' ambition been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raoul Bond with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger has passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames. Any one of them could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us the raid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue with your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich informing him of our success in identifying the heretics and betters. Hopefully the information will be of some use to these guardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leaders has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Claylan, as the realm's stoutest champion. Tis only meet that you be present for the discussion. Oh, the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Alright. Meetings of the minds. Like me, you were doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path through her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Minfield and the Archon spare no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as these succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nofika's altar. We shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. The Black Shroud. So mysterious. Hey, someone just dropped on me. I'm debating whether to do the last dungeon before or after the encounter we're going to do. I'm just saying that based on last time, the amount of quests that came after defeating Ramu was more than I expected. Sorry, it took longer than I expected. Well, I guess I'll see what happens. Unlike Raubon, politics is not my cup of tea. While you and the commander attend the council, I will attend some business of my own. My thanks for coming, Claylan. When you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the Lotus Den. The Alliance leaders await you at the Lotus Den. Will you be joining them now? Yes, of course.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Wow.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
He spit on the guy's coffin. That's rude.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Uh-oh.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartno dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald.
You know, if one I was against this war from the onset, I mean, can't say against, but just hesitant with joining. She's now looking for it just to. I don't think she wants to fight, but she looks like she just wants to be prepared for it.
Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
You will not have escaped to notice that the nations of Eorzea are no near to being of one purpose, despite the protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leader can come to all the understandings that they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Lamentans, for instance. Though Admiral Merlwyb outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wood-legged cutthroats. And likewise, the Gridanians are marked as hermits who talk to trees, and the old Dons scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Hermits who talk to trees? I guess so. Not that such sentiments are not entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Ulda society at Leggy, for example. But that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartano isn't mere. Cartano isn't necessary. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartano is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, represent them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke to the Observatorium, Captain Ilbert had further shortened his list of suspects. And by a happy coincidence, the one he deemed the most likely candidate has lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Cleland. All that remains is to corner a quarry. Seek out Ilbert near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any development in Korthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. This way, yes. Yes. Tendrils of intrigue are almost complete. Well, will be complete. Next is the next quest. There's Ilbert. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Let's continue with this. That was kind of nice back then. This was okay. This one's actually nice. But I'm going to continue with my tank, because Dark Knight is a tank. Maybe. In this game it is. In 11 it was a DPS. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Elin Royal, Raubon's second in command. Royal. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. The serious skill with the polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of its guardian birth, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Raubon chose people based on their worth. Whence the hailed was of no interest. The Monetarists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. It was no secret that they did not favor foreigners, its guardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the alliance. Yet the Monetarists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Royale was appointed to her post. Strange passing, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy had some hold over the Monetarists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Ryle's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Raubon attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless, or on some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames' records for evidence of Royale's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely on your eyes, Scion? How dare she betray the Flames? You have my thanks. Let us go then. Take care not to alert our quarry. Before I continue, there's one thing I want to do. It was a quest I tonight. This must be new. Well, if it isn't the Slayer of Ramu, come to see me in the flesh. Come to see me in the flesh. How fortunate that you should happen by. I was, in fact, on the verge of sending a runner to track you down. We've been having some news from the stills of Little Solas. It appears the Lord of 11 walks the 12s with yet again. From what I understand, the Elder Seed Seer's explanation, your last encounter with the Primal was a relatively peaceful affair. There was a battle, aye, but one fortunate Ramu did not get your victory. Why then has he returned to the forest? 'Tis you, Cleland, whom fate has chosen to uncover the answer to that question. It seems that Flixio, the Sylph Elder, would discuss the matter with you personally. Speak first with Delexia and Little Solas, and she will announce your arrival to the leader. And I would also consider it a favor if you can pass along aught you learn to the Scions. As I understand it, Archon Urianji is a keen scholar in the field of all matters primal. Pray make that final report to him. I'll get to that next time. My guess is probably the expert. I forget that. Judgment bolts and lightning. I forget what that one is. Figure it out soon enough. Oh, where am I supposed to go this way? Well, it's headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. Crystal Brave here as well? Are they in all the nations? I guess I didn't check that part. Oop. So, Royale has entered the Carlin Canopy. Meeting someone perchance? Or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she is not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. Ephemy is her name. I shall remain here in case Royale reappears. Maybe the Grays are here just because, well, they're here now for the story. Maybe that's why. Looking out for this person. Not here. Let's go down the stairs. Ephemy. Clayland Seraph! Such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant! No, she didn't come this way. How pleasant! No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger, none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you were sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the seventh house could she have gone? The Roost! How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Moontai tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, my friend. Wait. That necklace. You are Shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12s for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Royale would have disappeared without a trace. Daystar. That looks the same as the striking. That's not bad. I assume this is the same, just darker? Cute. So we're going with this one. Leads to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Royale's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. We will doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See that the lie go on ahead. I shall wait for you at the Sweet Bloom Pier. Let's go to the Sweet Bloom Pier. Second unit brave. Okay. We second unit braves are in Gridania on special security detail. Any suspicious activity will be swiftly nipped in the bud. Looks like I got two things here in the end. Got this, the main quest, and I suppose I can continue with this one since I'm already here. Alright. This way, my friends. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorne hut. If Royale is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. We are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own methods of communication over great distances. Well, our genius friends at Garland Ironwork to provide us with devices which disrupt these communications. We have installed them around the city-states. In doing so, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Royale would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with our Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face to the immortal flames, she cannot move about the island without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. It is for this reason, I believe, that she chose the Black Shroud for a clandestine meeting. The Elezen are a common sight here. Your coming and going to like to turn any heads, or not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garlands have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far have been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorne's hut and catch Royale in the act. Royale? That's not Royale, that's Royale. Royale? That's some of my friends who are more friends than I am to verify how you pronounce that. Royale. Royale. Keep saying thing over and over again. It's not like it's gonna make it any easier, I guess. I'll get that in a moment. I'm just gonna quickly go here, get this done. Walking One is here. Has Walking One heard of Lord Ramu's return? Then this one does not need to explain. Walking One should wait here while this one fetches Elder One. Walking One is most welcome in these ones' home. The gentle sigh of winds and trees and brooks told these ones of Walking One's peaceful words with Lord Ramu. These ones also heard that Thunderous One challenged Walking One to battle. This one is certain that Lord Ramu was pleased with Walking One's strength. And such strength Walking One has. Arrow-shooting ones often tell grand tales of Walking One, and these ones are glad to call Walking One friend. But this one must warn Walking One. Touched ones have summoned Lord Ramu once more, and this time with an offering of many, many more crystals. This one does not think Thunderous One means to bring judgment to Gridania. After all, Lord Ramu had made a special promise to Walking One. It is the intentions of Touched Ones that concerns this one. Touched Ones yet again act in fear and in hate. Even should Lord Ramu ignore Touched One's destructive wishes, his red presence alone drains the land of ether. It is not just Gridania, but the entire realm that Thunderous Ones threaten. Life will seep from the soil, crops will wither and die. Then the Lord Ramu will it otherwise? Walking Ones will go to war over what remains. This one begs brave and courageous one to fight again. Touched Ones must understand that summoning Thunderous One is futile. That Thunderous One respects the strength of Walking One. Thank you. This one knew Walking One would do the right thing. Walking One knows how to visit the striking tree. Trust the Etherate found in the domain of Touched Ones, and Walking One will soon be face to beard with Lord Ramu. These ones will listen to the forest's voice for news of Walking One's victory. Right, I'm just going to quickly get that started. Going. It's actually not that far. When you fly. There it is. Striking tree now accessible. Striking tree extreme, I should say. You know what? Just for fun and giggles, let's try this. No, I'm just gonna do it solo. Just get it done quickly. And to say I got it done. I'm still going to continue with the other one, though. The main theme for this evening. Face the beard. So, a little longer than I thought. Oh shoot. Oh, it's done either case. Contempt of court. Oh. I got some items from that, which I will desynthesize later. Alright, that's done. Oh, we gotta go to the Waking Sand eventually. Not today. If Royale was here, she is no more. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. My people report that a quarry has departed for the Bramble Patch. The ivory returns to the gnarls whence she came. Perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Garlean masters? My countrymen and I shall wait here in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. It's getting warm here now. Cutscene? Nope. Well, yes and no. Just beyond, Royale is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it. With me! Flame Marshal Elaine Royale, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool! Damnation! Explain thyself. Wow. Royale. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely guard for battle. But if you wish to fight, you are most welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, there was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then. Very well. If you do not think it's something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now, come quietly, or I shall have to. Come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Even a warrior of Royale's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence. but an awareness of her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flame will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Old Dell will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Clayland? So, the Scions seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, you have been training the art of the shinobi, have you not? The change in your bearing is quite evident, to me at least. I look forward to seeing you in action. Till next time, my friend. Oh, so that's interesting. Should we do the ninja storyline to get to this point? She changed this a little bit, or she notices something. Huh. It's actually kind of cool. Let's go to Urianger first, deliver these impressive news. Then we'll go to Rising Stones. Where's the event I mentioned? Just gonna ride my way there quickly. Prepare make for the Wakened Sands. For a sandwich. Sandwich. You're still here? You've been saying the same thing for the past 3 patches. You probably are too. Ehrenfeld. You're still in mourning. I can respect that. Greetings, Clayland. I would not discourage Greetings, Clayland. Though I would not discourage the company, few cross the thresholds of the Wakened Sands on a mere whim. Dost thou require mine aid in some manner? The Lord of Levin was returned to the forest. The sylphs challenged the Sahagin for the swiftness of their summoning. And thy account doth paint most vividly the image of Ramu's amplified energies. I fear the touched ones too dabble in sacrificial ritual. Thy stern expression bespeaks thy understanding. Even the denizens of the Twelveswood possess no immunity against Ascian manipulation. Once more, we are reminded that only with the lifting of darkness shall the primal nightmare cease to haunt us. We shall prevail, Lord, warrior of light. By thy radiance of thee and thy companions, we shall prevail. Good. I don't know why I did that, just trolling people, I guess. People are talking again. Alright, let's make the rounds. The tower is going The tower has grown beyond child. Okay. The tower is Tataru has grown beyond childish fantasies of becoming a songstress. Now she aspires to be a legendary street performer. She cannot seriously be considering it. Life as a street performer should be one's last resort, not their first. She can juggle a lot better than I can. What is she juggling? Bottle? Knife? Pipe? She's not even looking! Steady, steady. Not bad, eh? With a little more practice, I can earn a fortune at the Ruby Road Exchange. She must be really bored here. Or really interested in that. A rousing tale of a comrade's valor. Truly we're fortunate to count Lady Ugidi a friend. Tancred's tale of Lady Ugidi almost beggar belief. My heart is fair fit the burst from admiration. Yes, but Higiri, you're missing the point. The individual doesn't matter. It was a team effort, and I was the one who team effort and I. Hey, it's Ida. This is a classic scene from Final Fantasy VII. I could do this all day. ALLDAY. I cannot go on much longer. Take off the armor then, buddy. Strength, hooray! On your honor of a scion, I forbid you to surrender. I must admit, this exercise of yours never fails to amuse me. While its movements appear comical, it does seem to be having the desired effect. It's a battle of wills, a struggle for supremacy. Our fighting styles may differ, but this unyielding spirit is the same in warriors the world over. Alright. Kids here? No? Kids are probably outside and just never bothered looking for them. Alright. Enough dilly-dallying? Welcome back, Cleylin. I understand that Alphenwood had a task for you. May I ask what it was? Charges of treason and espionage against Elin Royale. I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust to the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Good, let's go hit her. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystals she stole from the House Forta caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint. But if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first, we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Ethernet and thereby follow our query. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Etherite to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Etherite upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution. Which is why we are called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Chilean. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gate and await her coming. I'm hungry now. What manner of woman is she? Is she, I wonder? We have spoken via Link Pearl, of course, but it is not the same. Alright, so we wait. Hey, look, butterfly, squirrel!
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and to thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar, and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
For an outpost in an ether-rich wasteland, this place is a good deal livelier than I expected. Just goes to show that you never know until you know. Let us return to the Rising Stones at once, then. We have much to discuss. I just like this weapon. Yeah, I might change up for Excalibur. I like both these weapons. Wait, wasn't there a Dark Knight weapon that did this? I had the same look for Excalibur, but for of Zanzakzuken? If that's the case, I might go that route. Is that Tupsimari on the wall back there? I'm amazed you managed to find all the pieces after, well, you know.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Wow. Brutal.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. we have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of Aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Go on. Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit.
You're digging a hole.
Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
Wow, he's digging. He's reaching.
You still haven't found it then, your missing Aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an Aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second Aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the Aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first Aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the Aetherite.
Hi.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, Aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an Aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal.
Wow.
I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the etherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
All right, I'm game. Bacon broth. That sounds interesting. And not at all useful for me. What's this? Not bad looking, actually. Ancient lumber. The instruments of our deliverance. I have already informed Alphanote of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moonbrida described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He has also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you will find him waiting for you there when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done on our behalf, and I have faith you will return to us, as you always have. Duh. Again, do things. Oh, you stopped juggling. Okay. I shall pray for your safe return, Cleland. Yours and the others. Over the years, I've learned that it's better to busy yourself with things you can control, rather than worry about things you cannot. A hot meal will be waiting for you when you return. Understood? Quite right, hooray! Yet I feel we two alone cannot resist a full-scale assault. Mayhap we had best draft a plan of evacuation, should the worst come to the worst. It falls to you and I, Coltonet, to ensure those Imperial dogs set no foot in the Rising Stones. The tragedy of the Waking Sands must never be repeated. The Wadi and Hozan are about to take up their posts. It seems even the children are starting to understand the gravity of the situation. I'm ready. Hozan, are your preparations complete? My father has agreed to take care of Yozan for me. The children need role models. We must do whatever is in our power to provide them. The reason I'm not teleporting to Snowcloak is, well, to Camp Dragonhead, it's actually better just to walk this way. Might actually be a little quicker too. Not by much, but just a little. In the dark with snow. Reminds me of home, actually. That's a bright light. It can only mean snowcloak to me. Trust in the power of white orosite, Clayland. And in me, of course. Good to see you. I was starting to wonder if you're having second thoughts. Captain Ilbert sent his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Elin, Roel, and Ulda, even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the Ivy upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean... The others are waiting for us at the Aetheryte. After you, Scion. Why is it so windy in here? There! It's ready! Ha! It worked! I think. Try to tune into the Aetheryte now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. We have done all we can, Clayland. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you may seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. We cannot ignore the possibilities that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, and if she succeeds, we have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Moonbreeder's experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Ah, before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you from Sir Emmerich. Madam, Sir Etheric regrets that he could not be here in person, and asks that I read to you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need, it is not her knight who stand poised to defend her. Clayland Seraph, the warrior of light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others should flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise up to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you yield yours in service to a greater cause. May Halon bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Here we go. Primal time, Shiva. Alright, so, as we've done previous streams, what job shall I enter this as? Let's go with the Job of wheel, shall we? Let's go here. Go to the interwebs. Alright. 3, 2. Let's shuffle this up first. 3, 2. Paladin it is. Really. Oh, I can play. Alright. So back to the game. At least we'll get in quite easy, quickly. Alright. If I were to go with a party of NPCs, what kind of NPCs would I get? Scions. Huh. Well, I couldn't just be like Cory Boulder or Colton Knott. That'd be kind of cool to have him here. Hijiri. Yeah. Colton Knott can either be a conjurer or a black mage. Hijiri's the ninja. And Cory Boulder can either be a tank or a DPS. Oh well. We're going to do this with a party. Confirm. Three, 2. Oh, we gotta wait. Okay. I don't know, I like climbing up here. I think you have to come up here for a quest or something. Could be wrong. I think there's a quest that had you go up here searching for stuff. Of all the myriad challenges you have faced, I should be amazed if you were a failed teleportation attempt that finally killed you. Pray do not surprise me. I have a mind to join you, but Rianji made me promise I wouldn't. Apparently the thought of me becoming Shiva's thrall was too much to bear. As if I'd give her the chance. This thing long 17 minutes. Ooh. Works great. Oh, what am I doing? Withdraw. Clear selection. My bad, folks. I forgot to put the right one. Let's try this now. 5-minute wait time. Great. I've paid attention. Apparently, I was trying to go back to the striking tree. If she's not in today, that's fine. Sweet dreams are made out of these. All right. Okay, so can't get up there. Let's try another way. I'm gonna get up on that one. A flying behemoth. That is completely normal to see in this world. Haha! Made it. Alright, this might take a while. The waiting part's always the worst, I find. Always the worst. Hello. This is just for the weather. Who are you linked with? That guy, huh? Alright. Taking a little longer than I thought it would be to get a party. I know we're given the time, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm thinking for 2.5, that might take about a good 3 days to go through. Along with the 3 dungeons that accompany that, I have here. Who I've already done previously, the Wanderer's Palace Hard, as well as Andapur Keep Hard. There's also a 3rd dungeon, a storage dungeon that we will get to. Along with that, there is also a trial, similar to the primals, but not a primal this time. Someone else. I think there's also another trial. I could be wrong. There's an instance. Sorry, it used to be a trial, which now I don't know what it is. I'm actually curious and seeing what that's going to be like. And there's a lot of story involved. Plus, I want to go through the Blue Mage stuff items. Maybe after the story, or maybe before. We'll see. Aside from the primals, I got all the respective abilities. I'm missing Whirl of Veil, Shocking Strike from Ramu, and one of the abilities Shiva has. Who are you linked with? Oh, crocodile up here. Who are you linked with? Nobody? So, what can we do now while we wait? This 5-minute thing is now turning into 8 minutes. We'll get in soon. There we go.
You should never have come here, Warrior of Light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
better tank. Tank war. Four comms? Woo! 4 comms!
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the Keeper of the Lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift.
She has the echo too? I guess I never paid attention before.
Feel
guess that answers that question. I wonder how old this amphitheater is. I don't remember this in 1.0.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
Man, their cloaks are great. They don't need heat or ice, snow. Ice weather does not bother them at all. By the 12, you're alive! I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Javanians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. So that's that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough. I was only asking. If you ask me, there's not to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. Ah, but before that, you would best pay a visit to White Brim Front and speak with Alphanode. He's probably word sick about you. That, or he's busy playing at politics with the Asgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no, no reason. See you again. Okay, let's go to White Brim Front. It's customary to report to one's commanding officer after completing a mission. That you stand here now is proof of your mission success. Praise be to Halone. I still remember the first time you entered these chambers. Suffice it to say, I never imagined that I would one day be so glad of your return. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. There she is, and more than worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Sure, she turned into a... Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration, and one for which we have Clayling to thank. Yes, you are right. You are right, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and heretics have been routed. There is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drimont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered that have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Ravenet's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take it these are the self-same supplies that the heretics stole from the house Voltas caravan? Less than crystals which compromised the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. Ah, and on an unrelated note, Claylan, might I have you accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? Just not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen nights to restrain him, I am told. Men give vent to the anxieties of married ways. Pray do not think less of him. Horshwa. And now we have a blizzard. Even the blizzard can still see a snow globe from here. To a certain degree, anyways. Ah! Wall! Building! If our business here is concluded, we should attend to Sir Emmerich in the intercessory. What were you thinking? Wagering your very being on the dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway? And then engage the abomination in mortal combat? By their fury, just the stuff of ballads. A ballad for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was, forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you are here now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have word with you and Master Alphanode in private. He awaits us in the intercessory. Alright, let's go. Greetings, madame. I shall show you in at once.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nautalon.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's Toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind.
Orchefort.
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's methods of summoning Shiva defies all precedent. It necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat, and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Garlic Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine then if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized peoples as well. Any lingering objection to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Cleland. It is better that we continue this conversation in Mordona. That's it. There's also another, I mentioned earlier about for Trials in 2.5, there's also Earth's Font, which we're going to do. Odin, in other words. Man, they changed seats again. Alright, Papalimo time. I do not fault Sir Emmer for being less than forthcoming with his beliefs. Not even the Highborn are beyond the reach of the Inquisition. True. Young leaders can be amenable to new ideas. Then again, their lack of experience and influence can hinder their ability to enact reforms. There's little fortune and far less fame in being a receptionist, but one must be realistic. Also, it would seem that I was grossly misinformed regarding the average earnings of a street performer. Forgive me, Cleland. I thought I had prepared enough meals for everyone, but the others were most hungry. Our stocks of wine have nearly run dry. That Chilean scholar's drinking us out of house and home. Wow. What you do is your own business, but don't say I didn't warn you. Hey, I was just gonna say you're a pretty, you're alright. Trying to tumble the table now, are we? Don't give up yet, boy. Ida, line him up. Hey, face me. Hey, face me. You don't look so good. A sip before practice, a sip after practice, and all too often a sip during practice. I do believe one breeder is having quite the bad influence on you. Calm yourself, Coltonod. It's just a little ship after practice. clears out the cobwebs to no end. Cobwebs. All right.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Curthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once.
Well, he has sobered up quite quickly.
Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoix's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
I mean to scour the annals of knowledge for Midgard-Zoma. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few... Did you hear that? The commotion outside? Would you see if aught is amiss? Oh, he's drunk again, tankard. Okay. Claylan, to swell you're on hand. We have a problem. Royale has escaped. It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She'd been placed in the dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. It explains she received inside help. Citizens reported seeing Royale quitting the city via the gate of Nald with a bloodied spear in her hand. She made sure Castra Meridianum, I'm certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilbert and the First are hot on Royale's heels. Pray make haste to Camp Bluefog and join the hunt. As I said, we're going to continue until we're done with 2.4. I think we're almost done it now. Ilbert. My thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Royale walked through the camp not a bell ago. Aye, she walked right through. We did not miss her. We have Raoul Bond's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her. And so here we are. Royale must not be allowed to reach Castra Meridianum. Cloudy. Was that really necessary? I better be compensated for the additional exertion you caused me. Oh. Duty calls. Alright. This wretch was with Royale. He threw himself at us. That his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when we started screaming. No loyalty even to her own, the god's damn harpy. Puh. With me, Scion, we almost have her. Kill the rest. For Eorzea! Start with you, buddy. Wait, I'm not level 90 at this, I'm level 50. That's fine. You lean the razor. Let's get with these small fires. Look sharp, men! will deny you, Hase. You have 1% health. Alright. Ooh, that was fun. Bind her and do it tight. Yes, sir. Good. Good work, men. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you fallen so low. What do you know? What do you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think that your God's given right to rule over others? You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-born as guardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to do to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagine me a paragon when I join the flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person who have ever suffered. In case you have forgotten, Raoban himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than a shirt of our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortune. We accepted the hand that we'd been dealt and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? 'Tis true we're both mercenaries of lowly birth. And 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles. Whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice. The people whose trust to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. join the Crystal Braid that I might strike a blow against the Empire. Those who cast their lot with Garlemald should expect no better treatment. Not so much as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sordid business is finally at an end. Our friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Raoban chose his.
I have heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Raoban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace. Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
Looks like he's trying to take over. Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Raoban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. My thanks. Ah, but I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Midfield of all that has happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Ryle in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. Alright. I'm gonna start up the third and final dungeon. I think this might be the last quest as well, so let's get this shown going. This quickly change to our job of wheels, job of names. Shuffle this again. Let's go to the Sunken Temple of Karnhard as what? Dragoon. Okay. Sounds good to me. Oop. I bet I actually need to hit that again. It's gonna be Dragoon, don't worry. So let's go here, switch to Dragoon. Sunken Temple of Karnhard. Join. 5-minute wait. Alright. Since we're so close to this area, let's just continue on. Hey, Google Gamera is up. This is a fate you can get an achievement for. If you survive and win. Man, Guardians have impressive technology. They're great at making elevators, doors that slide open like that on their own. It's a wonder they're not trying to make money. Guilds of Inventions, Innovators. Guild Innovators. Rich, I say. Alright. They're still in their same seats. Let's go here.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alphino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Robon, Eline lent us much needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auricide, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auricide's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had 2 pieces of white auricite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the aura site. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
Dimensional compression.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God.
Alright, I'll have to finish that cutscene later. Alright, this is giving me ideas. I mentioned previously I'm doing, I'm not sure if I mentioned previously. Oh, here it is. Temple of Karnhard. I purchased the Final Fantasy XIV tabletop RPG, and I'm hoping to be able to host my own campaign later this year. I'm just working out the details for it. It's an idea I've had for a while, and it does pertain to the story of part. It will pertain to the story in a sense. I know it doesn't make much sense now to keep it secret, but it's not really secret, but I'm still working out the details, but I already have a cast of members at NPCs I want to make use of. A sense on where and when. It'll be fun. At least I hope it'll be fun. I just need to wait until I got the handbook for the tabletop version, as I want to understand the rules before I continue forward that they have in place. I'm thinking they're only going with the, and I'm gonna get this tomorrow. Just gotta go to the post office to get it, because it actually came on Friday, but hand as a parcel that comes in. You can't pick it up until Monday, and yeah. So tomorrow. Yay. Doing a lot of reading during the summer, that's for sure. Hey buddy, how's it going? Yeah, got it. Again, all right. Tank, can you get away from the ball? No? Yes, not? I know, I put that ball there myself. And done. I don't want this. Rude. Close to my bedtime. Actually, beyond my bedtime, but I said I want to finish this as much as I can. Just this, I think, one cutscene, and and then go to sleep. That was a fun one. Pass and pass. Star Sphere. Guardian Knight. You can just have to fight without me. I'll go eventually. The final boss. He's mostly tank and spank, avoid the zombies, and you should be fine. aiming that at me? If you get hit by that soul of the bummy 4 times, you turn into a zombie. Really good time. Oh, the quick defense I've had of this actually. Do I have this? I don't. I do. But you can have it, man. Enjoy. I don't want that. You can have that too. Hey, 2 comms. Nice. Thank you, thank you. Alright. Hit out the paladin. Let's finish up again.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alfino.
Alfino?
To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent.
Ryu.
And now, together with Robon, Aline lent us much needed aid at the time of our order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Asians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Asian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Asian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Asian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Asians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had 2 pieces of white auracite? One to trap the Asian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the aura site. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident of the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement. But I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Quest complete. Meanwhile...
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the Media Project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Huayu.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zosgalvus.
Varus Zosgalvus.
So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monetarist scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! Today I will purge this land of your sickness! Before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
Civil War.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace.
Looks like thick pizza.
I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever Ever since he proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill, Taleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Ul'dah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Rauban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Ban, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
That's a bitter pill to swallow. Alright, folks. With that, I'm going to call it an evening. For those that have joined for the last couple of days, I do thank you for joining. We've now completed 2.4 of A Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy XIV. And looking forward to completing the final chapter of this arc, 2.5. The last fall, or before the fall. As mentioned, this will take about 2 to 3 days to complete. I remember it being long. There are 3 dungeons, 2 trials, and there's a major instance where there was. So it used to be a trial. But I think now it's an instance battle, so I'm curious on what that will look like. And not to mention there's much storylines involved in this as well. It is the end of A Realm Reborn, so there's going to be a lot of story going on. So probably going to take about 2 to 3 days. I'll get started on this Wednesday. If not Wednesday, Thursday for sure. And I'm excited to see where this goes. For those joined for the last couple of days, thank you for joining. Hope you had a great weekend. If you like what you've seen, if not done so, click on like, click on follow, be notified of future updates. And that being said, we're gonna call it an evening. Let's see, can we I don't know anyone else that's on right now. They're probably sleeping. Alright. For those that joined, thank you for joining. Have a good start to your week, a great safe end of your weekend. And take care. Have a good night.